Hello, this is Patrick. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, Profitable Investing with Technical Analysis. I have two new recommendations tonight, but before I get into that, what a run here. Today, S&P down 42 or so, at like 0.75%, and 7 out of 8 of our recommendations were up. So I don't think it could give you any more alpha than that, outperformance versus the benchmark. So I hope you're acting on some of these. And I want to reiterate that when something is up a lot, like some of the energy stocks, especially the REITs, which I just initiated with, we're up 3% today. The gold miners were up a huge amount. Utilities were up huge. China was up. When these things are up like that, 2 or 3%, you've got to sell some. So if you have 100 shares, you got to sell 3 shares, whatever that amount is for you, 5 shares. So let's say you sell 5 shares out of 100 after and being up 3.5%. You sell 5 shares, it goes down 1.5% tomorrow. You buy 10 shares. So you build you gross up on those, but you got to act on these, in my humble opinion. And the only thing that was down today was copper. And what was I buying today? Copper. What was I selling? Just touching energy stocks, just touching gold miners, just touching uh, what else do we have? REITs, as talked about, utilities, XLU, SO, Southern Companies, selling just a little bit of all that. So, and buying copper today. So, with that, let's get into it. Two new recommendations. Calumet Specialty Products. They're out of the Indianapolis area, I believe. And again, this is a energy related company. It's a small family owned company from what I understand. But again, I'm not a fundamental guy. But when I look at this chart, it looks like a lot of the major oils and a lot of energy stocks that are in these big consolidations. We're looking at 2 years on CLMT. It's a smaller cap name, which makes it a little more volatile. But if it can ever break out through the resistance level up here at, say, 20, it's going to go a long, long way. We're talking about 60% higher based on this pattern from 20. So right now we're at 17. So I want to get into the stock earlier, and I have been, but I'm talking about it tonight because we had a pullback today, giving you an opportunity to buy. So we're going to look at this 2024 and see if there's not a bullish pattern that we can get involved in where our reward to risk is favorable, and we don't have to wait to see if it gets up above 20. So let's take a shorter term look here. And here you have a big inverse head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You could call this a triangle too, it doesn't matter. The bullish pattern was set, got a huge breakout yesterday. I think it was up like 7, 8%. And then today had a huge spike this morning and then actually ended lower. So we're down to 17. So this is buyable. So hopefully tomorrow morning this isn't up 5%. If it is, I'd be careful. But if it's around where it is or lower, I would be buying aggressively. These energy stocks have easy comparisons now over the next 3 or 4 quarters. So their earnings are going to be accelerating and looking really good. I'm going to put my stop down here at 1675. So we have a reward to risk of about 3 to 1, which is kind of my go-to ratio. It's got to be that or better for me to get involved. And so I really like this stock. And let's take a look at the point and figure chart to see if it's confirming. So we got a 1950 price projection on this. And on the longer term chart, that would take us right up to resistance. And that would give us probably a pullback at that point in time before we possibly go higher. And the reason why I say that is in a triangle, symmetrical triangle, you should have an A, B, C, D, which would be 19 or 20. And then we'd have a halfway pullback possibly into an E, and then we can get going to the upside again. So I'll help you navigate this. If you like and subscribe, you get this even intraday. So it's funny how smaller patterns build into larger patterns. And the point and figure chart is confirming. We got a bullish trend line. We got a breakout just a couple days ago, and we got a $25 price projection on the point and figure chart, which, if you remember, would give us a huge breakout here. So I like this a lot. Wanted to talk to you about it. I wouldn't be buying small cap stocks right now if it wasn't in the energy space. And I'm gonna give you the second recommendation now, which is actually I'm reiterating a buy on one of the REITs that uh, that I initiated on, I think it was about 5 days ago. And so this is just the broad-based Invesco, I'm sorry, iShares Real Estate Trust, IYR. So it's an index of REITs. And you can see we've had a big week with it up about 4% uh, so far this week. And it's getting close to breaking out of a pretty big inverse head and shoulders over 2 years in the making. And that would give us a 112 price projection, which would be about 20% plus, and you get a nice dividend. But I'm not recommending this right now. I did on the initial call 5 days ago when I initiated on the REITs with a buy, but I'm showing you this. One of the specific stocks that I talked about was AMH, American Homes and Rent, and the rest of the REIT group was sky high, and this was actually down almost 2.5%, giving us another buying opportunity. It had already broken out of its inverse head and shoulders pattern, was well on its way, and it came down today. This is another thing I was buying today. I buy when it's down, I sell a little when it's up. When I'm bullish on something, I'm going to sell a little bit and I'm going to buy more. I'm going to sell a little bit, I'm going to buy more. And that's kind of the way it works. So here we got a $46 price projection. We're at 36 and a half, let's call it. So, uh, I have a really nice potential gain here. And I like the REIT space, and this is giving us an opportunity. And when we look at the point and figure chart, whereas my subjective chart is giving me a $46 price projection, the point and figure chart, strictly supply and demand, is giving us a $52 price projection. So that'd be 16 points on the upside, and that would give you, I don't know, 25% or so higher along with a dividend. So those are the two I want to talk about, Calumet and American Homes. Please like and subscribe. I really think the information has been good. I think you can make a lot of money with me. I can hopefully help coach you through some of this. But thanks for tuning in to Chart Built Wealth, Profitable Investing with Technical Analysis. Thank you for watching. Great trading tomorrow, and it'll be Friday. Adios.